We're moving on to Wally, and it's kind of scary to know that, you know, they really pulled in and talked about some serious stuff in the world. So I'm here to talk about Wally. And in this movie, we basically follow a robot living on Earth that basically his job is to just clean up um, everything, box up everything, just clean up all the trash. Up to this point, the world has been with so much trash and pollution, like there's just like no living sources. So, um, the humans have decided to evacuate. Wally got stuck alone because the rest of the robots, unfortunately, were out of battery or they died or whatever. And in the process, Wally's just this lonely robot. He's hopelessly romantic. He basically just wants people to be with him. And that's when a robot by the name of Eve arrives and basically has the job to find living stuff. And then she finds this boot with a plant and it basically finished off her mission. But all Wally wants is just to be with this robot. He loves her because, he doesn't have any strong connections. And I think what made this work so much was the music. La Vie en Rose was playing. Like, they didn't fully focus. Like, up to this point, Pixar has done their own music. They've done like their own songs for the playlist, but this time they focused on more old classic tunes and songs because I feel like that was the best way to tell the story with these type of characters. This spaceship owned by and large basically keeps all the humans attached, and unfortunately all these humans have been just locked on a screen just eating whatever, and they're all like overweight and just lost, and they're almost like taking a background to it, and in the process they're just very antisocial. They're not rude to each other, they just don't know each other and they don't bother to get to know each other. Wally unfortunately messes with two humans, and in the process those two find each other, and they basically tease that they fall in love, but I mean it worked for what it was doing. Meanwhile, the captain learns a little bit about Earth after he sees this plant and sees like all these amazing things that Earth was, because this captain has been around not long enough because the humans have left. And that is pretty much like the scariest thing about all of this, is that they're all trapped in this spaceship, and this robot that's like the wheel of the spaceship is basically controlling everybody. Basically robots have taken over essentially. However, all Wally wants is just to be back with Eve, and I think this message is very, very strong and very well put together. Um, I know people that love this movie as one of the greatest movies of all time. I enjoy it, and I really like it. There is one massive problem with this movie, but it doesn't take away from the love I have for the movie because it's a really good movie. But the big problem with it is that you have this subplot with Wally and Eve, and then you have this subplot with By and Large Company, and they're almost two separate stories, if I'm being honest. So the two story plots of the movie are very separate, but it does make sense and it ties up neatly in the end, where like Wally and Eve and even Bernie was funny in this movie. By the way, I love Bernie. Whoa, 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 whoa. Um, anyways, they are basically framed for being the ones that are trying to destroy the ship. Otto, who was the villain of this story, is basically taking over the ship and like just doesn't. He's trying to do the right thing and making sure everybody's kept safe. But however, when this plant was found on Earth, the president, Shelby Forthright, which was played by Fred Willard, which is weird because he was like his actual self, like he wasn't animated, which was really weird. They never really explained that part, but okay. Um, maybe there is hope in humanity, and there is hope in plants, and green in the earth. It's just that they just got to give it a try. They can't just be these humans can't just be trapped in their computer screens, and it's basically telling you the real life stuff that is happening in the real world. It's kind of scary that stuff like this is happening right now, and I'm glad that they tackled this, and I hope that people get the message across. And I think that is what definitely saved it. But yeah, it is hard because the first half is a silent movie about Wally and Eve, and the second part it was this whole spaceship battle from robots versus humans kind of thing. And yeah, that's one thing that not a lot of people talk about, but it still doesn't take away from how well put together the story is. It's still very entertaining. It's still a really fun movie. Wally and Eve have great chemistry. I love the scenes with them. Even the scenes where like Eve is shut down and Wally's trying to grab her hand and that gets stuck. Um, all those stuff is very beautiful, and I think those were probably my favorite parts of the movie. I just think this movie is enjoyable, but it does have its problems. Now, to those people who really, really love this movie, I don't fault you. This is one of the greatest franchises of all time. From 1995 to 2010, this was like their peak year. And yeah, Wally is definitely a really good movie, but it does have some problems. But I still really do enjoy it. I think it's a really good movie, and I think I suggest that people should watch it, and people should enjoy it and should appreciate it. I think my favorite part was actually the credits when they actually show how humanity has changed, and they see the plans, they see Wally and Eve on the side. Like, I love that part. Like, it really just shows you that there is hope. Not that the rest of the movie wasn't, but it was just like I love that they actually left you on a high positive note, and it doesn't leave you sad and in a bummer. And even when Wally forgot who Eve was for just a brief second, I'm glad that they fixed that too. Anyways, I was really happy with the movie. It gets an A minus. Has a little bit of some problems, but it doesn't take away from how good this movie was well put together. This was directed by Andrew Stanton, a huge part in Pixar's world. Hell, he's gonna direct Toy Story 5 later this year, so I'm really excited for that, and I'm really excited for what's next to come because I have some very strong opinions about Up, and you're gonna be shocked at what I say by the end of it. Anyways, take care, everybody.